Hello, it's Mike and Maggie. She's being rambunctious, but anyway, I wanted to do a quick video. One of my subscribers, Michigan Snow Pony, is quite concerned about the swine flu or H1N1 level 6 pandemic. And I'll post some stuff in the info section. The first one is about the Baxter H5N1 and the seasonal flu contamination that they sent over to a lab in Austria. And that's very important. There was also another big contamination in 2004 of a bacterium called Serratia marcescens. Now, that was sprayed in the 50s offshore of San Francisco as part of a microbiological experiment in weapons, It's quite documented. So I'll post an article about that. Now, that led to a big shortage of flu vaccines, and I think people can probably recall that. Now, in April of 2003, the Bush administration thought it would be a good idea for everybody to get vaccinated against smallpox. But that was very short-lived because supposedly people with heart conditions were dying. So there's all this news, and then you can go back to the 1976 swine flu debacle. I'll post an article from the LA Times in April of 2009. The guy explains it all and goes over that. Also, I will post a short piece, it's not the whole piece, from Russell Blaylock. He is a neurosurgeon, and he has a side thing in nutrition. He's done a lot of work in neurotoxicity and substances that cause neurotoxicity, and vaccines are one of them. And you have to remember, folks, just one vaccine can cause some damage, but it's the cumulative, like year in, year out. Every year you get a shot. You have to realize a lot of these old people get a pneumovax, a flu vaccine, and bam, bam, they get it all at one time. So, and there's no tracking. They do not track. And if you read an insert from a flu vaccine vial, that's the insert with the print is you have to use a magnifying glass. It says, to give the vaccine around because there can be reactions, anaphylactic shock, where your airway just swells up and closes up. So, all these little flu vaccine fairs in pharmacies you see are kind of, who knows how many people are getting the vaccine and walking out and dropping. And you won't hear about it. Trust me, you will not hear about it on the news. So people allergic to eggs, because the vaccine is grown in eggs, they've started growing them using mammal cells, which are kind of a little bit, I don't know. It's been linked. The polio vaccine has been linked to SV40. That's a simian virus 40, to a certain Burkitt's lymphoma. Okay, that vaccine actually caused, and you can look that up. So, and especially, with the government reassuring you that everything is going to be okay with this vaccine, not to worry. You just look back at the track record. You had Hurricane Katrina. You had the Iraq War, where they said there was weapons of mass destruction, and it turns out there was absolutely nothing. So, not only is it a personal choice, but you should be informed about it too. And inform everybody you know, friends, family, relatives, because there might be a big push to make this mandatory, and healthcare workers might be the first ones, but hopefully if you're in a hospital that's got a union, you may be protected. The logic they use is that you're going to be a danger to your patients, which, if the patients are vaccinated against a disease, then what danger am I? If they're already protected, it's ludicrous. Now, I'm not saying all vaccines are bad. The smallpox vaccine proved to be very helpful, even though it was dangerous, because smallpox has like a mortality of 33%. That's a big mortality. That means 33% of the people, 1 in 3 people would die from smallpox. So it was a very, very bad disease. And eradicating it, took a long time. I think it was eradicated in 1976. So that's one vaccine where the benefit you have to look at the risk. The benefits outweighed the risks. The same thing with a tetanus shot, okay? Now, I've actually seen a person with tetanus, and it's months. It's horrible. Your whole body goes into spasm, and you have to be on a ventilator, and I've heard it's quite common in Africa. It's a very prevalent disease, and it could easily be avoided if people got tetanus vaccines, but they don't. So I'll leave that with you. Try to look up the links. Try not to panic. I think the best thing to do is to inform people. Get the population informed, because there's just too many people wandering around in a daze and not thinking. And if you do those talking points like I said, they're going to have to round up the skeptics and put them all away, because I'm the biggest skeptic when it comes to the government reassuring me everything's going to be all right. Look at the evidence on its face value. But that's it. Try to look up the links. They're pretty easy to read. And look up more about Russell Blaylock. He's a very interesting doctor. And anyway, God bless. Bye-bye.